Hey, so I just had an interesting experience, and I thought you might appreciate hearing about it. So this is going to be live. Most of my videos from now are probably going to be live. Part of that is because I'm in school. I don't have a lot of time to do editing, but I hope that you will bear with me because I think that this is really important. So I just got back from a meeting. It was a public meeting. And it was the BART Citizen Review Board. And BART, for people who aren't from the Bay Area, stands for Bay Area Rapid Transit. It is the 5th largest transit system in the United States. So it's not too shabby. And I was there at their Citizen Review Board. And I was there for a school project, but I specifically chose this meeting because of one of their agenda items. They were considering adopting a policy called Interactions with Individuals Identifying as Transgender. And this is specifically guidelines for the BART police, which is a huge, when you consider like the amount of cases, the volume, the number of officers, is a huge precinct. It covers multiple counties here in the Bay Area. And so this is their policy that they're adopting, or that they're considering adopting, on how to interact with people who are transgender. And it's great. But, so I mean, it's got a lot of really good things, right? So like this is the policy, the final draft. I've got lots of scribbles and stuff on here. It talks about medical treatment of transgender arrestees, processing transgender arrestees, how to, like, if you're interacting with someone and you're a BART police officer and you think that they might be transgender, it tells you like how do you go about figuring out what their preferred name and pronouns are. Like, what if you need to get their legal name? Like, those are real world situations that happen all the time, and they happen poorly because there's no training, and people are just flying blind out there, and it's crazy. And so here they are adopting this policy. And the first draft, which I saw, and which is why I went to the board, included a very specific policy. And it was that transgender inmates, so if you are arrested by BART police and detained by BART police, should be housed with the population that with which they identify. So if you identify as a woman, then you're housed with the women. If you identify as a man, then you are housed with the men. And that is a fairly progressive policy. And I'm really, God, it kills me to say that that's progressive, because to me that seems like just basic common sense and reasoning, but you know, we're getting there slowly. Anyway, so that was in the first draft, and now in this final draft, it's gone. It is gone. It is completely gone. It is not here. And what happened was the unions. Some of the different unions had objections to the original policy, and so it went into committee. And when it came out of committee, that was gone. That was the main thing that was gone. So I only saw this today at the meeting, and I was the only citizen who was not part of the board who was there. Everyone else was in an official capacity. I was the only transgender person in the room. Like, it was surprising. Like, this affects so many people, and nobody knows that it's happening. Nobody cares. And so I sat through the meeting, and it was, I mean, it's hard to sit there and hear people who have no idea about what it means to be transgender or what that experience is like, discuss issues that affect people who are transgenders in such a real way in this very, like, public policy oriented discussion that's going on. So it's very formal and this and that, and I'm just, like, where? Anyway, so it was very weird. And at the end of the meeting, they they recognized me, because I counted, there were 9 people in the audience, including me, so it was pretty obvious, like, everyone knew each other except me. And so at the end of the meeting, before they closed, they said, young lady, we noticed that you're here, did you have any comment that you would like to add? And I wasn't planning on commenting. I was there for a school assignment, so I was gonna write up a report about this, and here's my thoughts and stuff, but I wasn't planning on speaking. And so I stood up. And usually I do really well with public speaking, but man, that was hard. That was one of the hardest things that I've done in a while. To stand up there in front of this official board and say, I am here because I am a transgender woman, and this policy is important to me. I noticed that the policy regarding the housing of transgender inmates is no longer in this draft. I feel like that is an important piece, and that's really what I came here to say. And I stepped down, and I was like shaking, like, my arms are shaking. I'm like, oh my god, like I'm sure I'm just like beet red. And then they adjourned the meeting, and every single one of those board members, every single one came up and thanked me and said, you're right, that's missing. We're gonna look into why that's missing, and can we have your contact information? Can we send you the next draft for you to look at? Like, they wanted people to be involved. They were looking for input. And it was amazing. I'm so glad that I was there and that I got to do that. But man, I don't think my heart has raced like that in a long time. Oh. Anyway, I literally just walked in the door, and that happened maybe 15 minutes ago. It was an amazing experience. It was terrifying, but I think it was really powerful, and it showed me the importance of 2 things. One is getting involved and showing up, and the other is speaking out. Because you can actually make a difference, I think. I think you can. Anyway, thanks for listening, you guys. Anyway, I know this was like 7.5 minutes, so if you watched it, awesome. You are awesome. Leave me a comment below. I would love to know what you think about housing of transgender inmates, because this is an issue that is not just about BART or transit. This is a national issue. This is a global issue. I think it's important, but I would love to know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Hit the like button if you like stuff. And I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.